Hi, my name is Amy and I play The Sims, as you can probably tell. I'm going to be completely honest with you, this is not the first time I have tried filming this audio. I'm sure as time goes on and the more that I do this, it'll feel a lot better and I'll get a lot better at it, so just stick with me, I'm sure it's going to be okay. Anyway, back to the build. I really wanted to make something a little bit different today. I wanted to do something that I've never done before and something that really tested my creativity, because I kind of got into the habit of building quite square, flat houses. So I thought, let's just jump straight into the deep end and make a tree house. And in all the times that I've had Jungle Adventure, I've never actually visited the vacation world that came with it. And this is mainly because I keep forgetting that we have vacation worlds, because we have to physically go to a new tab to find them. I completely forget that they're there. So when I remembered that we have this lot, I thought, yes, let's really utilize it. Let's build something really cool. And this is what I came up with. And I wanted it to be somewhere that you'd go on holiday, somewhere that your sim would go for a week, so not somewhere you'd live constantly. Although you can choose, if you want to live here forever, you do you, that's fine. But my idea was to go with it as like a vacation space, somewhere you could go on holiday. So I wanted it to be quite luxurious, but I also wanted it to look like it had been in the jungle for ages and ages. So I thought I'd mix up the window type to kind of get this feel of, it's quite modern, it's quite luxurious, but it's been here for a long time. So I used these Venetian window type things, I'm not sure what you'd call them, but the windows with the slots in, to kind of break up the long glass windows that you'd maybe relate more to modern builds, just to kind of find that nice middle ground. I really like, I really like the kitchen in this build, just because the colours and the tones match each other really well, which is one of my favourite things about the Jungle Adventure pack, is the fact that everything just matches each other really nicely. Usually when I'm building a kitchen, I like to go about OTT with the debug items and make them very cluttered and lived in, but I thought, no, this is a vacation lot. You don't take a lot of kitchen stuff with you, so I thought, let's leave it bland. Let's leave it kind of, not bland, that's the wrong word. Let's leave it quite empty, but also looks a bit like it's being used. Plus, you're in the if you're in the jungle, you're in the middle of nowhere. There's not like there's a shop right next door, so I'm trying to kind of keep in theme. I really like the fact that the kitchen and the living space is kind of open plan, because I thought if it's in the jungle it's going to be quite hot, so you want your rooms to feel quite open and airy and have a bit of a flow, if that makes sense. And because Jungle Adventure furniture kind of matches each other so nicely, I thought I'm going to utilize that. I'm going to put these things together so it looks kind of nice, kind of together. I really liked adding the sun cream on the worktops and the countertops, because obviously we're in the jungle, we need to make sure we're topping up on some cream. And that's in this lot. Actually, when I was playtesting it, I found something really cool. I didn't know that I didn't know that Sims got tan lines. So I had the sim that I used to playtest sunbathe on one of the sun lounges that you will see coming up shortly. And then when she got up and she got dressed into her normal clothes, you could see the tan line on the back of her head, and I thought that was really cool. On the back of her head, on the back of her neck, and I thought that was really cool. Just little details. I think Sims 4 gets a lot of flack for not having like as much in-depth detail as Sims 2 and Sims 3. Well, it does have its little moments, it has its moments, and I think those moments need to be appreciated. Something else that I really struggled with this build is when I built it, I hadn't factored in how the sim was going to get to the bathroom. So I needed to kind of move things around a little bit to kind of figure out how they'd get up, and I thought, it's a tree house, having to climb up a ladder to get to the bathroom isn't that far-fetched. So I put a ladder and then a little balcony type space to utilise the roof and make it look a bit prettier, a bit more lived in. One of my favourite things about the bathroom that I built was the walk-in shower. I thought, being like a holiday, I wanted it to be a bit different to what maybe you'd have in a house, so I thought using the stone pattern window to create a bit of a partition was quite nice and kind of gave it that jungly holiday vibe. I'm quite pleased with how that came out, actually. The way that I did it was I just drew a wall, put the window on, and then deleted the wall, and as long as you've got the move objects cheat on, it works quite well. In the bedroom, I wanted the same kind of feel with the oranges and the blues, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the wallpaper. I didn't know if I wanted to go the blue direction or the orange direction. I tried the blue, but I thought the blue was just a little bit too blue, if that makes sense. So I went with the orange just to keep it all coordinated, to keep it all nice. I thought even though you're on holiday, you're still probably going to want to contact home, or you're still going to want to like maybe work on some skills or something, so I put a little desk area in just to use that space. I like the little ensuite. I added an ensuite just because I realised that if if they wanted to use the main bathroom, they'd have to walk down steps and then up a ladder to get to the bathroom, and I thought that is just going to be a bit of a pain at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I added a little ensuite just so they didn't have to venture out too far. And the little space with the balcony, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do here, so I thought I was kind of toying between the idea of having a big circle table or having some sun lounges, and then I realised this is a jungle treehouse in the middle of the jungle, and there's only there's only space for 2 Sims in it. So realistically, who are they going to be inviting over for tea? So I thought sun lounges in, and then it kind of brings that vacation-y, luxury kind of aspect that I was wanting, and I thought it worked out quite well, and I'm kind of glad that I went with that rather than the table. When it comes to adding the terrain and the plants, it was a bit of a nightmare. It took ages to try and get the kind of the right feel that I was looking for with the hangy plants. I don't know what you'd call them. The plants that I'm sticking to the side of the foundation. I'm not sure what you'd call them, but the hangy plants. It took ages to try and get them to stick in the right place, because when I was trying to put them on, it was clipping to the side of the side of the building, which was quite frustrating, and I couldn't really do anything about it, so I just had to kind of push forward, keep doing my best, and eventually it worked out, and I think it looks really, really nice. I used a bit of debug, a couple of debug plants that came with Jungle Adventure pack, and the way that I did that is I put in the debug cheat, and then I just filtered by Jungle Adventure, and then all the Jungle Adventure debug came up, and I kind of used the debug and the plants to kind of cover as much of the foundation as I possibly could, because I very frustratingly you can't put plants underneath the foundation, which I think is so silly. If you're going to be able to make floundation that looks like that, you should be able to put things underneath. But no, you're not allowed. So I thought, I'm going to try and hide it as best I can with the the dangly plants and make it look really like it's been there forever and jungly and cool. So I used a lot of trees to make it look like it's in the trees, and then I used the big square debug plants to make it look really busy and overgrown and like an adventure, just to kind of add a little bit more dimension to it. I thought I'm going to add like some natural looking pond, like stream type stuff, I'm not sure what you'd call it, using the pool tool. I used the pool tool instead of the fountain tool, because even though it's covered in plants and rocks and things, your Sims can still swim, and I thought that was quite cool, and I really like the idea of them looking really natural and like the part of it and not like a swimming pool. So I used lots of rocks to kind of hide the edges, and then chuck loads of colourful plants and flowers and things around it to make it look like it's been there forever. So I just keep adding lots of like plants and stones and stuff to make it look like it really is in the middle of nowhere, which I like the idea of it being kind of secluded and warm and nice. I mean, at the moment I live in the north of England, and it's winter and it's cold and it's rained and snowed for the past few days, so I'm really holding on to the idea of sunny vacations, even though we're in the middle of a lockdown and we're not going anywhere, so why not live vicariously through The Sims? Anyway, coming to the end of the speed build. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on for 10 minutes. I honestly didn't know how that was going to go, so thank you very much. I'm sure as time goes on these narrations are going to get a little bit better. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this building and if you'd like to watch some more of the stuff that I do, please feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!